Phrasing.
Have you ever been in a Turkish prison?
Hey, it's Geek Public Radio with Topher the hairy bastard, and with me is Stafford. What is up?
Not a whole lot. What's up with you?
About the ceiling, maybe. I don't know. Hopefully. After that,
for a while longer, as long as you keep the rent paid.
Well, no, the wind came through. Oh, that big storm stuff came through and shattered a window. Like it straight blew a window out off of the thing and shattered it all
upstairs.
Yeah.
Shit, I didn't know that.
We're fine. Like
usually
we owned the house for a month, and shit starts breaking.
You got a homeowner's policy, right?
Yeah, but it's under the deductible.
Of course it is.
Yeah, well, I mean, I could buy a whole window for $120, or try to find the glass people to actually answer the phone to put panes of glass in it for cheaper.
Who are you going through?
We were looking at the Anderson Glass and Mirror. That's who did.
You're just wanting a pane of glass.
No, 2 panes. It's a double pane.
You're just wanting the panes of glass.
Put it in, so we can be done with it. It's my son's room. He's hardly ever there, and when he is, he's just playing.
Well, then just put a board up. Piss on him. Tell him if he wants it fixed, he can get it himself.
Well, it is kind of his fault. He didn't latch it.
Well,
so the window blew. It just went. It was like laying 5 feet. It was so bad. It was laying 5 feet into the room. That's how hard the wind blew.
I heard that there were storms and stuff, but usually we get the same weather you guys get, and we didn't have anything. We had some rain, and that was about it.
Well, it was like 5 o'clock in the morning. And my wife gets off work at like 3.
Yeah, okay, I know.
So we literally just laid down to go to bed and dozed off and heard smash.
Now, see, if it had been downstairs, you'd be like, oh, thank God my prayers are answered. It's game time. Somebody's trying to get in here.
Sick 'em. Oh, I'd know because the dog would have alerted to that. But no, like, he was scared. He's like, I didn't do it.
Yeah, poor guy.
It wasn't me.
He gets blamed for a lot of stuff.
Oh, he's got it tough.
Well, we know it's not him chewing up the slippers. I know it's your weird leather fetish thing.
Well, there is that because, I've got that sharp teeth.
Well, yeah, you got to grind that stuff down somehow. But don't blame the dog, hell.
But, so this week, last week we talked about comic books and that's how horrible my memory is. Like,
hey,
we talked about Spider-Man Homecoming and
we're getting
all
old.
of the other stuff.
We're getting old, man. I have actually, they have a little note feature in your phone, the notes.
Mm-hmm. No,
I leave myself, I leave myself notes all the time. I will save texts that my wife sends me because she has gotten so mad at me before because you don't listen to me. No, honey, I just don't remember shit. I mean, I told you I was going into labor. No, not really, but I thought I set a precedent when I was 5 minutes late to our wedding, damn it. I really was. I was there. I just wasn't on time. I blame Pat Brooks for that.
As we all do.
Yeah.
This week I think there's a lot of stuff that we shared on the Facebook page, and you've been sharing on the group.
Yeah.
And those who are interested, go to Geek Public Radio. The Facebook page is facebook.com/geekpublicradio. Hit the groups, go in there and join the conversation. Talk to us. Let us know what's going on. Share stuff. Stafford's been sharing stuff. William's been sharing some stuff. We've got Brian Petty who's chimed in on quite a few things, and so is Ken North and a couple other people. Shanzi. So get in there. Start talking with us. We want to hear what you guys have to say.
We don't
want
have
to
any
hear
friends.
Yes, we do not have any friends. No, we have literally the whole page is designed to promote your games, promote if you're looking for players, if you're doing whatever, get in there, talk, and eventually I want to take this whole group down to Gen Con, not paying for everybody.
You cheap bastard.
Then I would be dead.
Chris the cheap bastard.
I'm already taking half the group as it is this year.
Well, yeah.
But no, I like so we can actually have a meet downtown at Gen Con and get our own room. Like our own reserved thing at the convention to where members of the Geek Public Radio can actually go in, meet each other in person. Most of everybody knows each other, but there's a few people who are friends of other friends that don't quite connect. But we can do a live show there from Gen Con. Something like that, where we can all go down there, we can all have a good time, we can all do whatever.
Autographs.
Yeah. But that's the idea. So get into the group, share it with your people, share it with your friends, and build this thing up, and let's make it something that we can actually do something with. And like I said, there's some good conversation going on. But the last thing that you shared was something about the Seth MacFarlane new series coming out in September.
Orville, yes.
Orville Redenbacher.
Actually,
okay.
that was shared by Bill, or William, whatever you want to call him, Tiny. He shared that. Not on the page, though, I don't believe.
No, it was in a group.
Oh, was it in the group?
Yeah, it was in a group.
If I could hit the right dang button here, I could see that. Yes, it was in the group. You're right.
Because it has the group on my thingy.
Yeah, that's what I was just getting to. I realized I was not prepared at all.
I got this right here. To the group.
Oh, you have? Yeah, I don't do that.
I have a one-stop. Yeah, because I am way so sophisticated.
You're lazy.
That's more like it.
I will navigate through Facebook to find the group.
Nah, I just have to one button.
Yeah. Instantaneous gratification. That's right. That's the name of the game. No, William shared the Orville. There's a new trailer out for it, and we were just talking about it a little earlier before we got started on here. My comment on it, and it's the truth. I'm a huge Star Trek fan, always have been. But I'm more excited to see the Orville than I am Star Trek Discovery.
See, like talking about Star Trek Discovery, and we'll loop back to Orville and my thoughts on Orville and how I'm being weird.
I swear I'm trying to be open-minded about Discovery. I really am, but honestly, it looks like a better show. I mean,
well, you got Discovery, and the thing is, they're trying to draw in the
new people. That's what they're trying to do.
The Trekker people, whatever. Well, not just that.
They're trying to get
CBS is trying to draw everybody into the CBS All Access. So you literally cannot watch it outside of the pilot unless you pay so much a month to be a member of the stuff, to get stuff that you get for free by going to the website or watching it on live television or on demand if you have cable and have the on demand, or dish and have on demand.
Here's the problem with that.
You have to pay money to get stuff that all of the other stuff that you get for free on all these other things. I mean, Hulu. You can watch a whole bunch of CBS stuff.
Well, yeah, but you pay for Hulu, but you pay for the ability
to watch. That. Yeah, but with Hulu, you can watch Fox shows. You can watch ABC shows.
I don't even have regular TV anymore. I have Hulu and Netflix.
Well, we did that for a while. We did. I'm actually working on a thing about cutting the cord and how it's nigh on impossible to do the way things are set up.
Well,
because we have Hulu, Netflix, Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
HBO now,
because
I have to have Game of Thrones, and that's I only have that subscription while Game of Thrones is on.
Right.
But we had Sling TV at the time.
I have tried that,
and a couple others, and our internet bill actually went up and was almost as much as it is now that we just switched over to having just cable again. Because we use so much data, and it went over so much of the cap. Because I have 3 people, all 3 people were streaming TV shows and online and all the video stuff that I do and whatnot. It literally cost us almost the same amount paying for Sling TV and paying the internet bill as it does just paying for cable and internet.
Yeah. I have a real problem with this CBSaccess thing.
Okay.
I personally, I don't have regular TV, but I used to. And when I used to have TV, if there was something that I wanted to watch it come on CBS and I wanted to see it, I already paid for it by paying for the TV, by paying the TV bill. Why? So we have to have this streaming service to see more than the first episode?
Yep. Nobody's going to watch it after the first episode.
Why even start with the first episode?
Right. Well, there's still going to be people that haven't got the memo.
Right.
They're going to watch the first episode.
Yeah, because I didn't know about it until tonight.
They're going to be like, "Oh, wow, this is cool. We're going to get to watch the first thing," and then they'll be like, "Where's the rest of it?"
Yeah. Doesn't look good enough. Just doesn't look good enough. You know, they have not.
That's why we need video. I mean, because I'm over here making facial.
Well, yeah, but we have faces for radio, buddy.
Well, I have a voice for silent movies, so.
Yeah. I can't see. I can't get on board with that.
No, and what's funny is
but
CBS.
then again, too, this is the same guy that used to say, back when World of Warcraft was a bigger, like the thing to do, bigger than what it's been. I couldn't see paying $15 for a subscription to play a game that I've already paid to get the damn software for.
Yeah, but then you played it for how long?
Then I wound up doing it. So I'm not saying, I guess, that it would never
Speaking
happen.
of which, are you ever coming back?
Not in the foreseeable future, because I don't have a computer that'll run it.
If I can work on that.
As soon as I get money to pay for the subscription.
Well, you can. Well, now anything under 20, anything under level 20 is free.
Oh well, yeah. I don't know if I've even got anything under 20.
Well, you can start something new.
Well, yeah, that's true.
It's just you have to use the BattleNet messenger to connect with everybody who's on your BattleNet friends. Because you can't they limit so much stuff you can do, but you can still play up to the first 20 levels.
Oh.
By the time you're done, you can have a whole level 20s out the wazoo and all these other realms, and you're like, oh look, I can afford to have a subscription now. Which one do I want to start with first?
Right. I don't know. I mean, it's a thought. I don't know. I got some other stuff, but I don't know. I'd have to think on it.
There's a lot of people still there.
Yeah.
I'm just saying,
But like I said, I don't see paying for CBS All Access just to watch.
I tried the 7-day free trial because it said it had a streaming component where you can stream live CBS, live, whatever,
Right.
And at the time, I had my office set up. I didn't have a television in the office. So as I'm working on stuff, like the podcast, the websites, I like watching TV and whatnot. So it's like tired of Hulu, tired of some stuff coming on CBS I'd like to watch. So let me try that. Well, it's not available in Indiana. The streaming side of the whatever. He's like, but you can do all the on demand. I was like, why? I can go to Hulu and watch every one of these episodes
the next day. Yeah.
Then why?
Well,
That was and that ruined it for me. And I was like, because I was actually willing to give it a chance. I was like, if I can do this on Hulu, done. And now Hulu's coming out with a streaming thing where you can live stream. You can stream live television. I think it's in a beta, but it was in my settings or whatever. I was going through my account settings, and it said something about live stream TV, and I was like, really?
Okay, that's what's at the top of that thing I seen. Okay. Yeah, I'll just wait till the next day. I don't have to watch it the same day it comes on. I mean, the only thing I've ever needed live TV for really is the news. That's it.
The only problem,
and
really you've ran into this issue now, is we're now 4 episodes into Preacher, the season 2, and you're going to having to wait till the end of the season to catch up. And that's a travesty. It needs rectified. We need to find a way to get you to watch Preacher live.
Well,
and catch up.
I mean, it depends on when it comes on. I mean, there's
Mondays at 9.
Well, yeah, but
and then right after that is a new series, Midnight Texas.
Yeah, but they also said on Hulu you can watch it the next day.
Well, Midnight, yeah. And I actually dug Midnight Texas. It's the Charlotte.
It's
Charlotte Harris or
Charlene Harris or
yeah,
something
whatever.
Like that. The gal that done True Blood.
Yeah. I have all those books, the Sookie books.
Yeah.
And no, I don't have boobs.
House.
I don't have well, I have they're little. But
A cup.
But no, I enjoyed those, and I enjoyed this, and you'd think it'd be the same thing, but you're like, because that's what I was worried about. Like, oh no, it's going to be a poor man's version of True Blood. and because it's on broadcast television, they can't get away with all the stuff that actually caught your attention.
Yeah.
And I'll
All
be
the
honest
sex.
with you, strip out the sex and the violence out of True Blood.
There's nothing there.
And it was just a cheesy movie. It was a cheesy show, but it was a fun show. Like, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And some of the jokes and all the stuff, I laughed at. I got a good kick out of it. This is...
I tell you honestly, my favorite character in that series had to have been Lafayette.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
It was sad that he passed away here recently.
Yeah,
but...
he did. And it's what's even sadder is I don't remember his name. And I posted about it. No, I thought that character was pretty funny. I really enjoyed that. He kind of made it because there wasn't really much else there for.
Well, like I said, I'd read all the books, so I'm watching the series. I had a good time up until the last 2 seasons, and it kind of got a little. I was like, they're trying to lose fans.
Yeah, I went back. Well, I didn't go back. Mom started watching it over again, and I was there when she was watching the first episode over, and the first meeting between her and Vampire Bill or whatever. I sit there, you watch it, you're like, who raised this girl? I mean, that's got to be the most ignorant thing I've ever seen. You just go running off, and the time that he shows up outside her house, in the middle of the night, she just goes out there in her nightgown, all that. I'm like, what? Who raised you? And your grandma had to have bigger brain than that. I mean,
she raised you better than that.
Let me just run on out here at the vampire, and while I'm wearing nothing. Okay, you can go have fun.
Yeah, but it made for good television.
Well, yeah.
It got the male demographic to the show.
Yeah, because much like back in the day, Xena Warrior Princess, where everybody just hit mute and watched boobs jiggle. That's all that was. Everybody's like, "Oh, Jason's fucking another one."
Please send all hate mail to Stafford at.
Yeah. I don't care. I mean, they're just mad because I was right.
No, but yeah, so like Midnight Texas is a good show, and it's like right after Preacher, but at least you can catch up on that on Hulu, though. I mean,
yeah.
I
got some irons in the fire for less scrupulous methods for me to be able to watch some shows too. So,
well, that happened.
Yeah,
but
I'll probably catch up.
Now that we digressed.
Yeah, back to CBS All Access and why Star Trek Discovery's no good.
Well, no, like we digressed from that too, but I was thinking about back to Orwell.
Oh, Orville.
Yeah, Orville.
You can't even pronounce it.
I don't even know what it's
How
called.
many of them glasses have you had?
2. I'm halfway through the bottle.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm getting soccer mom wasted tonight.
Wino. You got a headache from that.
Yeah, I have a headache anyway.
Who made that? Is that Bill's or Eddie's?
It's an Eddie's.
Oh, how many hairs you find in it?
37, but it's a short batch. No, that's his.
You're not snorting. Oh man. Okay.
No, this. If I do remember right, it's his apple. But it's like 16% alcohol.
Oh, well, yeah, that'll do it.
So, it's like close to being when they distill bourbon. What was that? Fortified wine.
Yeah.
It's almost a fortified wine in strength.
I honestly never really read the bottle other than to see what it is that's in the bottle and then pour it.
Well, the next
you
one
start talking about percents of alcohol by volume. I know double the percentage for how much proof. That's about it. That's all that really matters.
But like with this,
what in the world?
He's scratching his butt. My dog's on the ground.
He is
walling.
running upside down. This is why we need the TV station. That is fascinating. I have never seen that. What is wrong? The next time he does that, you need to post that. Because people are going to be like, what the hell are they talking about? You'll be like, hey, everybody, this is what the hell we were talking about.
Some dogs scratch their butt by rubbing their, sitting down and rubbing their butt. He rolls over upside down.
He was like scratching the top of his butt, above the tail,
Yeah, he scratches the middle of his back that way. He just...
He looked like he desperately wished he was on a rug, though.
Because
I don't feel like on the
And what's
Wood floor,
funny,
he got quite the scratch.
what's funny is when he gets outside and he finds a nice prickly spot in the grass where there's like some weeds or whatever that's like thicker, and he just lays in on the grass and like just flops over and starts rubbing.
I had a little dog that done that, but like when she'd kill a bug, she'd flip over and roll on top of the bug and do that.
Like, I will bathe in your blood.
Yeah, that's the way I took it. I don't know what she was doing, but she's like, I murdered this and now I must bathe in its blood.
But yeah, but no, like Orville.
Yeah.
I'm one of those people, call it the fact that I got made fun of quite a bit when I was younger.
Well, yeah, I mean, we all did.
Sometimes shows like that, I have to actually sit down and watch 1 or 2 episodes to judge it.
Yeah.
Because I can't tell from just what I watch if it's not just making fun of the people who like those shows.
Well, and it's like I said earlier. I mean, if you can't laugh at yourself, who can you? I mean,
there's a difference between laughing at yourself and the bully poking fun at it and you're going, that's funny.
But can anybody honestly say that Seth MacFarlane's a bully? I mean, look at the guy. He's not a bully. He's.
I don't know. I know we said no. There's certain things that aren't allowed on the show, but after tweets, yes, I do believe that sometimes he can be a bully. But that's beside the point. No, it's just like like I said, I always give it a fair shake. I loved Million Ways to Die in the West.
Yeah.
I loved Fanboys. I mean, if talk about being able to laugh at yourself.
Yeah, but when you talk about maybe something making fun of you, I don't think Fanboys didn't, to me, come across as a movie about making fun of Star Wars. You're
no,
saying
it made fun of Star Trek, but
Fanboys?
Yeah.
Are we talking about the same movie?
Yeah.
Fanboys was all about
the God.
No, Fanboys was the one that was about
where they stopped that one on the road trip to go to the thing. They detoured off to Iowa in the enemy territory and knocked over the statue.
All right, I forgot that part. I was going to say, I know Fanboys was
the
about
whole
Star
thing in
Wars.
Vegas where the Trekkies finally come up and it was Shatner who ended up giving
being the one that gave them the plans for Skywalker Ranch.
Yeah, Shatner wasn't involved in it. No. Oh, okay.
And the irony here is, well.
But so I loved it, and it was one of those things that it took me watching it before I realized, because I was like, okay, I'll give it a chance. It's one of my favorite movies.
It never. I mean, it never even entered my mind that it'd be like maliciously making fun of people. It was just a movie that it's like, hey,
My first thought goes, just like I said, like the rednecks were all running around screaming "America," and like, do you not realize that whole thing started because people were making fun of you because you can't talk?
Well, maybe on the broader scale, but honestly, I think that they probably started doing that to begin with themselves.
Well, they owned it. And
well,
it's like,
I mean, around here anyway, I know a few guys that are like, "Oh, America," I've done it myself once or twice. But it's
you
never
pronounce
been
the
anything.
America.
Well, yeah,
not America.
America.
And you have people walk around with T-shirts that say America, and they're like all rednecked out, and they're just proud.
Well,
and I'm like, do you realize that's making fun of you?
Well,
saying that you cannot speak proper English and that your family tree looks like
does not fork.
Yeah, it's like you have 3 teeth and a mullet.
But it's a beautiful mullet.
But what I'm saying, it's like that and I understand you talk about taking it, and I was like, okay, but that just strengthens the stereotype in other people's minds of those guys, and now you have hick hop. I mean, that's what happens when you listen to what other people say and you take it.
Hick hop is what happens when you take psychotropic drugs while you're pregnant.
Oh, come on. You like that song, Kicking Up Mud. I said that as a joke earlier today, and now it's been stuck in my head.
Good.
And it's only first 3 lines because I couldn't get past like the whole I'm a big old boy with a big old truck. And I turned it off. Now I'm a big old boy with a big old truck. And I don't know the rest of the song.
A little little scrawny broad with meth in her mouth. It's like she's been rode hard and put away wet, had a hard life of $5 blowjobs.
Well, there's that. But no, it's like, so, I mean, that's where certain things for me, and I'll be honest with you, there are certain shows that when they get on certain story arcs that lose my interest, and I'll turn, and they'll be great shows. I made it through Vikings season 1.
Yeah.
Season 2 came around, I was like, oh, good, was Vikings, whatever, and then, like, there was a certain storyline in the Vikings that I didn't like, and I turned it off.
Which one?
I haven't been back.
I'm caught up. Which one?
I honestly, it's been so long. It was when it first came out. It was
okay. Well, yeah. I mean, I was able to see 3 episodes when it first came out, and then I went back and I was like, well, I want to try this again, So I tell you what, you watch Vikings till you're caught up, and I'll watch Game of Thrones until I'm caught up.
It was about the same seasons, isn't it?
Vikings is getting ready to start its 5th season in November 29th.
This is the 7th season. You can watch all the way up to season 6. And Game of Thrones.
Actually, I could watch season 7 now if I wanted to.
Well,
I'm not very scrupulous.
Geek Public Radio does not condone the act of.
Yeah, I'm not speaking for GPR right now. I'm speaking for some broke hoe that is going to watch his show whether it's
it's nice or not.
Yeah.
No, but
that's the FCC. I gotta go.
No, I'll take you up on that. I'll watch it. But like I said, there's certain, I can't remember what other show. Something else came up, and I was like, I don't like the way that they're doing the fighting amongst whatever. It was just the certain things hit me the wrong way.
Right.
And I go, okay, well, then I just turn it off. I almost didn't finish Hell on Wheels.
I haven't even started that.
It's a great series, and I'm glad I finished it. But it got to the end of season 4, I think. And there was something in there. I think it was the whole thing with putting one of the characters on trial or whatever, and everybody had to come out. I almost skipped that whole. I did skip that episode. I watched the last part of the episode to know where everything, know what happened,
to know who was alive at the end of it,
and then I just went to the next episode because the whole thing of, I don't know. There's certain things that
I think
don't trip my trigger.
Well, so many shows have come out, and there's only so many arcs and stuff that they can do, and eventually, you're going to come. They're going to start. One's going to be just like another, just like another, just like another, and you're going to run into that crap.
Well, it's not a matter of being like a crap. It's a matter of.
Well, there's been times that I'm like, God, you can see it, like the foreshadowing on it. They've tried to not be obvious, but you can see it coming a mile away. And you're like, God, now I got to put up with this and this and this. And you watch the show, and you're like, yeah, I should get it over with. Thank God that's done. Now the next episode's awesome.
I think part of it is I don't like if you're building up something where everybody's doing this one thing and fighting the other thing, and then you have them fight amongst themselves. Yeah, it's good drama and whatever, but there's some ways that hits, and I can't put my finger on it. Just there's something about some of that stuff where it's like, I'm over it.
Yeah. I'll
tell you this. I don't know if you read the Dresden File books, the Harry Dresden books.
No, Mom has. She loves all that stuff. Charlotte Harris.
Almost bailed in book 2, book 2, book 3.
I saw a couple or 3 episodes of the Dresden Files, the show, but
it wasn't as good as the books.
That was about it.
The books are great, but I literally almost fell because you have the female cop and all that stuff that Harry's trying to take care of, and no matter what she sees him do and protect everybody from, like for the first 3 or 4 books. Anytime something comes up and he didn't tell her what was going on, he was trying to protect her, she'd fucking punch him in the face and then try to arrest him. I literally put a book down and said, I'm done. And walked away for like 3 or 4 months.
That sounds oddly similar to the show Lucifer. I mean...
But you know what I'm saying? This is like, oh, he just saved you from a pack of werewolves and this, that, and the other, but you're still going to think he's involved and that he's somehow a bad guy, even though he's shown you nothing but being the good guy.
Well, obviously, because he's slipping her those drugs that she thinks she's seeing that stuff.
But no, like she's on a task force designed to deal with that type of stuff.
Okay.
And she's like, well, I need to know this, I'm just going to arrest you. And it's like, done. I'm like, I can't even process with the fact that at that point in time, I'd just let her die and move on. Because, he got in more trouble with everybody because he was helping her out and I was just like, I don't want to, but I pushed through it eventually. And like I said, it took 6 months for me to go back to even pick up another book, and it got better. And when that stopped happening, they were fantastic books. But it was that whole beginning thing of no matter what the one character would do, this other character was always being and it was just I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't. I'm weird. I know. I can't help it.
It happens. I don't know how many shows that I've watched, or me and my wife have watched, and, we'll go through, we'll be sitting there, we'll watch through several seasons, and you're like, I see how this is going, it's just not, but you've already invested so much time into 2 or 3 seasons, you're like, it's only got a season left, let's just push through it. Just like, we've got so much time invested, it seems like a shame to have wasted all this time.
Well, like I said, with Vikings, though, I watched every episode of the first season live.
Yeah.
Season 2 came out, I was like, yeah, okay, and then, like, for some reason, they were pitting 2 characters against each other that there were so many other things that they could have done, and it just seemed, Yeah. And I was like, I don't want to watch it. And I tried to explain it to somebody else. They were like, oh, Vikings is rocks. And I'm like, I lost interest. Wow. I was like, because of this plot line. They're like, it gets better. I'm like, but they lost me.
I'll tell you what got old for me was the whole, the fighting back and forth, between the Christian God and the Norse gods. That got old. Still old. Still going on, but not so much now, obviously. But I'm not going to give you the spoiler for why. But there for a good 4 seasons, it was like, Jesus, just shut up. Either convert or don't. Who cares? I mean, now go cut somebody's head off. Blood Eagle, another one. I don't care. Just do something. I'm tired of listening to this.
Mm-hmm.
So there's things about everything that
Well, like I said, and that's why it lost me. But if you want to take that bet, I will watch. I will rewatch all 5 seasons.
Well, season 5 doesn't start until November.
Well, by the time I get there, but I'll start watching if you start watching Game of Thrones.
Okay. It was described to me as softcore porn, so
sometimes
I'll watch it.
No, it's like I said, if you like D&D though, that's what I was trying to explain to Heather. Like if you like Skyrim, D&D, that meant that feeling. This is definitely
Okay.
Yeah, I know you wanted that people having sex with dragons, but that's
well, no, that's just something that I imagine
Pat would do.
Well, he wouldn't be the only one. I mean. The last time Eddie was about to violate an invid during a Robotech game, so, if it looks like a crab,
It's like, no, you have crabs. You don't want to have sex with them.
Yeah, maybe.
Robs to cross. I'm a squid. No, the Sprat. No, it just, I don't know. It's just one of those things.
What irritates me the most about shows, though, is you'll get invested in a show and it won't be bad. I mean, all shows have their issues, but you'll be watching and be like, okay, yeah, that's pretty good. Then you get to the point where then it gets canceled.
Oh, yeah.
And it's canceled with no resolution.
Oh, I hate that. That's why I was like, I literally stopped watching shows on Fox.
Yeah. I watched. Well, me and my wife were watching. We thought that it was the whole series, and we thought it was just 4 seasons. Turns out it needed at least another season or 2 for ending. But we were watching it, and it's on Netflix. It's a show called Revolution. Mm-hmm. You seen it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I watched it live.
Okay.
And I was pissed off when it happened.
Yeah, and so we're at, we get to the end. We're like, wait, what? What? Mm-hmm. God. Well, turns out, I guess they did do a bring about closure for the show. They done a limited run or just a small limited ending for it in comic book. Mm-hmm. So there is comic book conclusion to it.
So let's go on to something completely different.
Well, we haven't even finished talking about Orville, have we?
Yeah, that happens. But let's go on to something completely different.
Okay, go ahead.
The new Guardians, or not Guardians, the new Infinity War stuff that came out with Comic-Con.
Right.
And the Justice League.
The DC Extended Universe Justice League movie that is DC's answer to the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah. Let's talk about that for a minute.
What do you want to talk about? Which one's superior?
Well, that all falls down to which if you're a DC fan or if you're a Marvel fan.
I'm just, honestly, I'm hoping that DC does as good a job as Marvel's done.
As a comic book fan, I like Marvel and I like DC.
Right.
I like, there's titles on each side that I like.
Right.
I would love for them to I'd love for DC to actually put together some good movies that I can get behind.
Right. Well, they've definitely made Aquaman not a cheese dick. He looks like, he's
They gave him stuff that he does, powers that he didn't have.
Right. Did they?
Uh-huh.
What have they given him he didn't have?
Oh, there was a whole list online of stuff that he didn't have in the comics that they gave him.
Really? I haven't seen this.
In essence, they made him a badass versus being some guy who can call lunch.
Call lunch? Well,
Well, you seen the Bat Metal episode where they had to go get him from SpongeBob and the Little Mermaid?
The what?
Bat Metal. Have you never seen Bat Metal?
I'm not sure what you're talking about.
Oh my God. Never seen Bat Metal. We may have to take a break so he can watch Bat Metal, and then we might come back and talk about
Batman. Is this like heavy metal, but Batman?
Yeah. It's awesome. And we're gonna get a lot of people going, "Oh no, it's retarded." But no, I thought it was.
There's been a couple of fan-made movies about Batman that were pretty decent. I saw one.
The one where, but we had we did it,
Oh, okay. The college humor thing is like, yeah, those are the one where he doesn't realize, he thinks he's putting everybody to sleep with his awesome moves, and he's really killing people. No, I was thinking about there is a Batman fan-made movie. It's probably about 15, 20 minutes long. It's Batman versus Predator versus the aliens, and I can't think of what the name. Batman Dead End, and that was actually pretty impressive. I think it was a really good job. It's several years old, but it was pretty decent. It doesn't really. At the end of it, I was like, man, I wish they'd made this movie longer. Mostly because the aliens and the Predator and everything. You don't really see the super final fight, but you're left wanting. But I thought, for no more than what was spent on making it, and the talent that they had brought in,
share it into the group so everybody else can watch it.
They've done it.
You don't have to do it right now, but I'm just saying,
yeah, I'll put it. I'll post it. I found it, I think, on YouTube, but I'll throw a link up on there, or post it. It was pretty decent. I've seen a couple of Star Wars fan-made movies.
Well, that's what got everybody in trouble.
Yeah.
Good fan-made movies that make more money than, Well, that's what got everybody in trouble in that whole Paramount coming down saying, you can't do them unless...
That was Star Trek that done it, because Axanar. I am still waiting for Axanar.
It's now like, it had to be cut down. Because it's now a short film.
It was going to be feature length, and now it's short film. So they've put out a bunch of.
And they can't use people who were in Star Trek.
They done that because of what was his name, Wang or Wong or whatever. Played Harry Kim in Voyager. Was in one of the fan made ones, and there's a big stink about that, I guess. But no, there's Star Trek full-length, feature-length movies out there still, though. I mean, Horizon's one. I haven't watched it. There's a couple others, and there's some Star Wars ones.
But, that's the thing is, like, you know what? We're going to take a break. It won't sound like a break to you guys, but we're gonna take a 5-minute, and we'll be right back.
Daddy needs a smoke.
So, now that we came back from our little break, you guys... the magic of hitting the pause button. No time has elapsed whatsoever.
Yeah. I know what bat metal is now.
I just fucking tough.
Somewhere in some basement, some kid thought this up. I couldn't read, though. What's at the top of this drum set that Robin's playing? Was something rather of Arkham, doesn't it?
I can't remember.
I couldn't see it. It was always covered by
something.
It was always covered by the lyrics, so you could actually understand what the hell he was saying. It's funny. I mean,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
It's different.
Yeah,
I liked it better than Hick Hop. I mean, if I had to pick between the two to listen to for the rest of my life, it would be the bat metal.
So out of the two things that I've shared with you this past couple shows, you like that better?
The bat metal is definitely better, yeah.
I'm thinking about putting that in the comments underneath your Batman Dead End.
Yeah.
Is putting it. I enjoyed it. I
did like it.
I did watch while he was watching Bat Metal, I watched Batman Dead End, and I did enjoy it. Though I made the comment that if Danny Glover could hurt a Predator with throwing punches and whatnot, Batman should be able to at least do something other than make it look at him like.
Well, and you justify it by maybe Batman was fighting the tougher Predator because you want to send one of your A game guys to take on the Dark Knight, not just a black guy, I mean,
that was my whole complaint. That was the only complaint. They did stage certain things in that pretty good.
Yeah.
About getting the cape to spread out to look cool, and when he rose up, it did. Very, very cool.
Yeah, like I say, I watched. That's how I found out about it. Was I'd seen a documentary, and I was like, "What's this documentary thing about Batman Dead? I don't even know what that is." So I was starting to watch a little bit of it, and I realized, oh, there's this whole other Batman movie out there that I don't know about. And they start, it's a fan-made movie. Okay, so I'm thinking like an hour and a half long or something. It's like 10 minutes, including credits and a commercial. But one of the things that they'd said in the documentary was, they had planned for the cape to spread, but they never could have gotten it any better any other way than when he rose up and it kind of like slinks into him.
Yeah,
they said that was the best, best thing that could happen, and it was an accident. But it did. It looked pretty cool. I mean, it looks like he melts up, and that was pretty neat. That was probably cinematography-wise, that was probably the single best, shot. But and
it's just one of those things I was looking at. It's like it did have good cinematography. As a film guy, I pick stuff apart, and sometimes it ruins good things for me. Like everybody's like, "Oh my God, it's so great!" And I'm like, "That shot sucked. It had a bad cut here. It did this. Weird transition here. What the hell is that camera angle?" And everyone's like, "Well, I don't. What are you talking about? It was a good show." And I'm like, "Eh."
Yeah, and I know what you mean.
When you know the stuff, and you're like, what the hell is that?
When you're in the business, yeah, I mean, it's like there's several shows that my wife liked that she's like, oh, I know it's probably not like that. And you'd probably hate it, because I worked 15 years with the Department of Corrections. You work in prison. I know how it goes. I mean,
So you can't watch Shawshank.
Shawshank. Well, now for the time period, probably most likely exaggerated, but there's probably more to it than what you'd expect. Green Mile, yeah, the same time period. So yeah, but modern day Prison Break, I could never watch it because it's total bullshit. There's no way. I don't care what kind of just warm body they ever hired, wouldn't be able to see that. No, and I watch it, and I like Orange is the New Black. That was the one that she was so worried that. But I can suspend a lot of it because I didn't work in a female prison,
So there's that.
Yeah, so there's that. But some of the stuff you watch, I'm like, God, this stuff, no, there's so many ways, and I have to force myself to let it go so that I can enjoy it, because it's one of the very few things, because we have such a completely opposite taste. The stuff that I'm into, she's not. So it's very few and far between that we find a show that we really agree on and can enjoy together, and that through a lot of suspension of belief, it's not bad. It's funny. I take it as a comedy. It's.
What's funny is, like, when we're talking about, like, me picking apart stuff. We got our buddy Jim, who, if it's a wrong era car, or there's something wrong with the car that doesn't fit the era in which he completely loses interest in the whole movie. And it's weird. Like, we shot a segment for the upcoming feature film, The Black Book, and it's set in the 1950s, and we have a 1955 Chevy Bel Air.
Right.
Mint condition, all that stuff. It has it has Camaro rallies on the car. Like, the tires are newer,
right,
70s tires, or what, I don't know. But
yeah,
they're not the thick white walls that. And he immediately called it out, and he's like, I will watch the rest of it, but normally I quit at this point.
Right.
He said there's some movie that's supposed to be set in 69 that has a 72 whatever in the parking lot of an airport shot. The only time that and he's
don't
like,
see
it's a 74.
So way off, but you can tell,
And he's like, I could tell what it was, and I completely lost it. And he goes, it was a good movie too, but I turned it off.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes
I was like, okay.
I can't fault him though, because there has been one movie in.
But I'm not paying attention to the cars if I'm watching. I'm paying attention to the camera cuts. And the
right. There's been one movie since since I've been around that since my going to see movies, there's been one movie that I almost got up and walked out of, and I came real close, but I hated to be out the money, so I sat there for a little bit longer, and it wound up not being a bad movie. But I almost got up and walked out of Underworld. The very first one.
Because of the guns?
Yeah, because I don't. I mean,
fully automatic.
Yeah, I mean,
shooting through the ground and like.
I'm like, honey, you got 15 shots if you're lucky, and you are not going to go full auto for 5 minutes and never change a clip.
Well,
I'm sorry, a magazine, because that's a big thing now. I come from the era where it did. Yeah, sure, it's a stripper clip, that goes in there. Yeah, I'm not going to get into the finer. But anyway, the point is, she didn't change mags. RoboCop changed his magazines once, maybe twice through the whole movie.
When it was for dramatic effect,
right? But he done it. You seen it happen. That's all I needed through that whole movie. I mean, I can see how that stuff. I can see how that stuff would ruin it for you.
What do you think of Chetty's apple?
Well, I tell you, I've got a small tribble in the other glass over there where I've been picking hair out of it. I don't know how he squeezed the apples, and I kind of don't want to know. But it's not bad. No, it's pretty decent. Could use to be a little cooler.
The next show, I will tap the big bottle.
I tell you what, we need to get. We need to get some damn honey mead.
I can't do honey mead.
Oh, that's right. Shit.
I mean, I could, like, as a drink.
Okay, you need to get you some wine and me some honey mead.
Well, for everybody to know, I do have a gluten intolerance, and it makes me.
Here we go.
It makes me sick.
Well, okay, for you, I can see it. But
Like, no, it stopped me from breathing.
what's a gluten? No, and I completely get. I mean, I'm on board. Your explanation is totally valid with me. A lot of people's aren't.
No.
I don't buy it, but no, I've seen you be sick and everything. So yeah, I understand what you're saying. This is not directed at you at all. But what is a gluten, and why is it bad? Yeah,
I don't know.
See, nobody else does.
All I know is I was told not to eat pasta or bread, and I've been able to not. My blood pressure doesn't drop as far.
Right.
I spent 4 days in a hospital here recently because my blood pressure likes to for some reason go under 100 over 50. It drops so low that I don't make sense.
Right.
When I'm like, hey, will you get off the thing? And they're like, everybody's looking at me like, what are you talking about? I don't know. Shut up. I'm just going to go over here and fall down. Then they're like, he's having a problem. But that doesn't happen as often now that I've
Right. Well, we probably ought not get into the gluten and stuff like that because that'll segue into anti-vaxxing, and yeah, you don't want to get me going. There are certain things that you don't want to talk about on here, and
anti-scientific people.
Yeah.
Just because you don't have the education to understand what it is doesn't mean it is wrong. No,
I really don't want to get going. I don't want to get going, but I did see a Twitter thing that I wound up. I shared. I know I showed my wife. It was anti-vaxxing. It's like the biggest argument to vaccinate your kids. Anti-vaxxers, the way their stance would be like, they had a suspension bridge.
Yeah, I read that.
Did you see that? Okay.
Yeah.
The one's like, hey, this bridge is only 99.9997% safe. I think I'll swim across because it might collapse. Okay.
The whole there's crocodiles, and just because nobody's ever been eaten by crocodiles.
Right.
Well, that's the whole reason.
You don't see it swim underneath the surface.
No, no, we have had friends who I posted something. And they come back, whoa, da 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 da. I'm like, that's not how any of this works. That's not how this works. Like, seriously. I was like, it's only the theory of evolution. And I'm like, gravity's a theory, so that means if I don't
fly,
believe
well, now you know how you fly, don't you? Everybody
you throw yourself to the ground and miss.
Yes, that's how you fly.
So let's try this. Jer, you throw yourself to the ground, and I'll yell at you right before you hit.
Well, if it doesn't work, the next thing you hear is going to be, call 911.
But no, so I was like, that's not how any of this works. I was like, just because you failed at school. And I know these people because I went to school with them.
Do we want to name names or no?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay, maybe afterwards, because I got to know.
So, Rico.
Oh, shit. Okay.
That way I'm not naming names.
You don't have to go any further.
You know exactly who I'm talking about.
Yes, I do. And anybody that wants to know, I could tell them in a second. We'll just call him Mr. Banks.
So, Rico Rum.
Yeah.
I posted something about, because I'm an archaeologist.
Right.
And those who've been listening long enough know that I spent 10 years in the field. I did almost as many years in school because I have a degree in psychology, a degree in anthropology, and all this stuff. I just couldn't stop. I didn't want to get out of school.
Well, you were getting free access to corpses, and, you got that raging case of necrophilia.
Well, there's that.
Crack open a cold one.
Crack open a cold one. No, but, so, dude, all this stuff was hammered into my head,
right.
And it's like, and when they're like, well, how is it? I was like, dude, all you have to do is Google. And he was like, I didn't come from no monkey. And I'm like, that could be debatable. Have you looked in the mirror? And before anybody says I'm racist or whatever, he's a white guy. So it's not like me calling one of our African American brothers, and sisters any names. It's he is 100% honky that looks like he's fallen out of the evolutionary tree. And it's like, I ain't descended from no monkey. I'm like, that's not how this works. It's a common answer. He's like, well, how come there's monkeys if we descended from them? I'm like, it's just a common answer. I can break it down in small words for you. It's a common ancestor. We split. They went small, we went big. I don't know how to explain it to
honestly,
you.
I think with people that their biggest hang up with the theory of evolution is, the most common thing, and I've thought it before myself before I realized, you know what, I just don't care one way or the other. If we evolved from monkeys.
No, we didn't evolve from monkeys. We evolved from a common ancestor.
Okay.
That's like saying elephants and rhinoceroses, I don't think they did, but they come from a single here and it split and became two separate things.
So a common ancestral primate.
Yes.
I mean, because you could say that we're primates, right?
We are primates.
Okay. But
we
anyway,
are hairless monkeys.
The biggest thing
as
that people would say
Nyarlathotep is want to say, we're hairless monkeys.
Hairless monkeys. If, like I said, the biggest argument that I've heard is, well, if we evolved from monkeys, why aren't monkeys still evolving?
They are still evolving. Look at bonobos. Look at chimps. Both bonobos actually will go to war.
Yeah.
Over territory. They will use sticks and stones and other things as weapons. They're constantly evolving. They'll use sticks and stones as tools to break open food sources and the whole nine yards. They're constantly moving forward. The fact that you have now chimpanzees who can walk upright for good periods of time should show you that they're starting to evolve more, and because they're no longer up in the trees as often, and they're not doing this number.
Well, and I've seen things where gorillas are starting to do that too, walk upright more.
And like explain the pancreas or the appendix, wisdom teeth, vestigial organs like the vestigial tails. When you have genetic throwbacks where people are born with tails,
Yeah.
All
the
that
last
stuff
thing that I'd heard about the appendix was that it was something that evolution just decided it was easier to keep it. I forget what I'd read. Something.
Well, it does. It actually
involved
does.
in species and out of species, and just over the course of time, it's just easier for the species to keep it.
Well, I mean, it's moving away from it because we can live without it.
Right.
Anything we can live without is on the verge of leaving.
Right. Well, the last thing that I'd seen, people had said that, scientists or whatever, had said that they think that they might actually know what it was for now, and that it helps produce the good bacteria or whatever it is. Then, so it's a probiotic producing. I don't know.
But because of our diet, we don't need it anymore.
Right.
So therefore, it is a redundancy that if you get sick, if it inflames and bursts or whatever, you can get it cut out and you can live without it. Eventually, we won't have it. Eventually, people won't get wisdom teeth.
Right.
We're in the process of losing that stuff. That's evolution. It doesn't take... It takes... You got to look at it in a glacial time period.
Right. It's...
Very,
100,000
years from now, we won't have appendix. Appendix will live only in a book. Mm-hmm. It'll be the appendices.
Well, and at the rate we're going, we're not going to have books, and people are already calling them DTBs, dead tree books. I want to read everything on my Nook or my Kindle.
Until they go blind, because there's nothing like come on, look at this place. It's a sanctuary for books. I mean, I used to own a bookstore, and the 3,000 books that I enjoyed, I kept. Mm-hmm. I mean, I have my horror shelf right behind you. Mm-hmm. And then I have 10 more bookshelves upstairs that you can't get to.
Right.
that have everything else on it, including like almost the entire Foxfire series.
Right.
If I could find them. I found the first 3 books. Yeah, I'm the weird guy that I like science and do all this stuff, and I'm very whatever, but I have the Foxfire books in case that I need to go out and do something that I'm not prepared to do.
Right.
Yeah, I can go out, shoot an animal, feed the family, no problem. Do all that stuff, but I don't know about rigging up, satellite dishes from, the laundry or something. I don't know.
I can't MacGyver you a satellite, but I can catch a fish. Not in the state of Indiana, but I can catch a fish.
But, to go back to a little bit of the other stuff, we digressed along the scientific stuff. And,
Oh, yeah, we've been all
like
over
I said,
the place.
If anybody wants to compare credentials.
Credentials?
Credentials.
There you go.
That word with stuff on it.
Next time you got to put your teeth in.
Why would I want to do that?
So people can understand you. Enunciate, sir.
Enunciate, motherfucker.
But
English, do you speak it?
what? We could do a whole show just on, movie quotes.
So, Geek Public Radio, we're shameless plugs about the stuff we're getting ready to work on.
Go for it, because I have no idea.
We are in the process of bringing back the actual radio part of Geek Public Radio.
Right.
When we first launched Geek Public Radio, it was a streaming online radio. That we had the GPR show and other stuff. We were bought out by Revel Radio, picked up, and after it folded, we scrambled to get back all the stuff that we let go of once everything was picked up. Finally got the website back, so it's not freegeekradio.com, which is what we were forced to go to. We actually now have, we've got back for the last couple of years, geekpublicradio.com. We got, all the other stuff. And we're talking about relaunching the radio. Mm-hmm. Our radio. We're going to take up some of the shows that were on Revel, if they want them back.
Yeah.
Because they're in the area. They haven't been able to do anything. And it gives them a chance to get back on the air. Under the original banner that we intended as a group. For the stuff, Crazy Chris has been on Geek Public Radio. In fact, he's the one I got an argument with about Batman versus Superman, and I said, it was the dumbest movie on the planet. The only reason they stopped fighting is because their moms both were named Martha.
I thought they quit fighting because, Wonder Woman showed up and they were distracted,
It was like, your mom's name's Martha too? Well, I can't kill you, even though you were the responsible for the death of all these people in my tower and this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
But I digress. He loved the movie. I found fault with it. That took me out of the thing and it made me not like it. But he likes DC stuff and... that's teach their own. I love comic book movies in general.
Right.
It was a fun ride, but if you want me to get critical, I will point out all the flaws. Marvel or DC.
Right. When it's a comic book movie, though, you have to suspend some belief. Well, even more so, I think, than most movies.
It's not even that. You can't... I've read enough comics... if they do something that, I'm like, that would never happen. And
you
not being that would never happen not happen in real life. That never happened in the comic.
Right, but just because it never happened in the comic, I mean, they have to make
would happen. Like I said, like Superman being an emo millennial.
Well, yeah, that's
not the core. He's the Boy Scout. I mean, that's the core. That's the whole rub between him and Batman.
That's what happens.
He is the Boy Scout, and Batman will get his hands dirty.
But that's what happens when you let people write the movies that have never even picked up a comic You know,
No, that's what happens when they're like, oh look, Nolan made a whole bunch of bank. Let's make every movie like a Nolan movie.
he didn't do a bad trilogy.
No, I liked the Nolan Batman, but he had Frank Miller's Batman to draw off of.
Right.
You do not have a comic book Nolan-esque Superman.
No, because that's never what he was intended for.
No. You know.
You have Boy Scouts of America Superman.
Well, I mean, you get like Injustice and whatnot. You had that whole twist where he goes evil thing with the death of Lois Lane.
That's Bizarro. Or no, are we talking about Bizarro Superman? Or
No, we're talking about like when there's the Injustice where I think
death of Lois Lane.
Something happens and he just goes and becomes like totalitarian, you know. And they were alluding to some of that in Batman v Superman with that Flash or like his whatever in the desert with all that stuff. Like, well, he could go the Injustice style stuff. In Injustice, he does go that hard line, but the rest of it, like with like this Man of Steel and all that stuff, is like that's not the gritty dealing. Like, you know, I understand everybody had that argument, like, you know, if he flew down in the first Superman and snatched Lois Lane up, it would break her neck because of the sudden stop, and she'd jank back and it'd kill her.
Right.
In fact, that's how Gwen Stacy died
in Spider-Man.
Because he stopped her
too quick.
You know, so everybody's like, oh, this. And it's like, okay, I can see why they're talking about what about the collateral damage and all this other stuff. But still, it was like, and this is going out on a limb.
Right.
It felt like Superman meets the 2007 Cthulhu movie.
Damn, I just realized I haven't seen that.
You're not missing anything.
Don't tell me that, man.
I liked it.
Completely forgotten about it until you mentioned it. I was like, oh my god, that's a movie that I meant to watch. And
it's a good movie, but it's
not as good as Dagon was.
No. And it covers some of the same stuff. You know, they called it Cthulhu, but it's not more. It's not called Cthulhu. It's more Shadow of Innsmouth. But because it's the guy that comes home from and does all this stuff, and his dad's in a cult,
right?
And all this other stuff, and all this weird shit happens. He's trying to figure out what the hell's going on. It's a good movie. The main protagonist is a gay man going back to his family, so he's not only just an outcast in that sense, which it fits very much a lot of the Lovecraftian stories in the sense of, you know, an outcast and you know, going and doing all this stuff. So it was very done there, but there's some scenes like the Shoggoth in the woods. You don't see the Shoggoth, but you see some girl flipping out about how he's like, what was that? And he tries to get out to find out what's going on. She's like, no. And like she flips out. You're like, at the first watching, you're like, what the, you know? Yeah. Tori Spelling is in it.
Oh, wow, there's a name I heard in forever.
And
God, what's she doing? What's she look like now?
I don't know. This was 2007, so she looked like the same. But like, so, and that whole arc was weird, and like, it was a good show. Watch it once.
Right.
I watch it every now and again to get inspiration for something else that I was writing.
Yeah. And
every time I go back to it, because I was writing a Lovecraftian series, kind of like Supernatural, but more Lovecraftian, dealing with one character who's the great-great-grandson of the guy, you know, Angel in the Call of Cthulhu story. Mm-hmm. He gets everything handed down to him, and everything's handed down through the family, and it gets to him. So it's modern day, and he goes through all of the papers and all the stuff that was handed down from the 1920s story.
Oh, okay.
So it's a continuation, but it's set in modern day, and all of that stuff happened, and you're up to modern. And that's what I'm writing.
Okay.
So I watch that, and I get some ideas. More for theme,
Right.
but it's made for TV.
Right.
So no flipper babies and
Right.
all the other stuff. But and it's actually sticking with the Call of Cthulhu mythos stuff rather than breaching into Shadow over Innsmouth and whatnot.
Well, there's a game coming out too. It looks pretty good.
Which one?
The new Call of Cthulhu game.
Oh, the thing. There's another at the Mountains of Madness, and our online game store is working to try to get a demo.
Good.
We're working with our distributor to get a demo.
Good.
We're working to get out our online game store out more than just selling a couple things on
conventions
and on eBay.
Right.
I think right now we have 2 Cthulhu Dorbs on for $8.
Yeah.
On the eBay. They're cute. They're right here.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, you showed me them last time, I think.
Yeah. But
Master of Rillier.
So it's the Verse on eBay. The Verse games.
Yeah.
So but we got 2 of those up. We will have the Lost Cities card game. We'll have Bobblehead Zombies. We'll have a Geek Magic 8 Ball. And we'll have some Cthulhu mints and some other stuff. The Cthulhu mints are no longer in production, I do believe. It's like we have the last
batch.
Well, we got 2 batches. So we have the last 80 some things. So if you want a Cthulhu mint 10 and whatnot, $3 and you can get it. But so we're talking about bringing back the radio. We were even talking about relaunching the Geek Public Network, which originally was a network of podcasts that we did.
Yeah.
We had Geek Public Radio, the GPR the GPR show. We had Sunday Night Madness, and we had a couple others that we.
Man Cave, I think, was one of them.
It was one of those we syndicated Revel shows.
Yeah.
As podcasts under the Geek Public Network. We're talking about actually possibly doing live streaming television. With some of the films that we do, public access shows, actually creating our own horror host to do horror movie stuff. And we're talking about once we get that launched and getting it up on the thing, we're talking about eventually going to Pluto TV and getting it up there, so people who just can go on Pluto TV and watch.
Right.
Not only us, but the MS3TK show channel, Riff Tracks channel, the Nerdist channel, the Minecraft channel. If that's your, it's a whole channel of people playing Minecraft. I mean,
my boy'd fit right in.
I love my games and whatnot, but I have a hard time dealing with.
Yeah, I'd rather play them myself than watch somebody else play them, unless it's a boss fight or I need a tactic or something.
I'll be honest with you, I Twitch. So, and that was another thing we on the group we put a call out. And we said, I put out my Twitch, which is going to be the center for Geek Public Radio.
Yeah.
With the Twitch channel for Geek Public Radio. Mm-hmm. And once we get everything built up, we're going to make a team or whatever. But basically, anybody who would like to get their channel on there, just give me your name, whatever, and I will add you as another host. And anytime I'm not streaming, it will pick up anybody else who's streaming and actually play it live on the stream that we will have connected to the Geek Public Radio page. So if you stream games and want to have a good time and get it out and get your views up and whatnot, and have it broadcast on another thing that we have attached to all the other stuff, then let me know. Attach it to the thing on the post on the group, and we'll get it up and get it out, and we'll stream you to anybody else who might be interested. Our goal was to, this is my first real foray into Twitch, so I'm getting everything back up. I think I had to get a new video card, and now I'm working on something else. And Heather needs a new upgrades because she tried to stream she likes playing the old school games.
Yeah.
Which I was like, that's cool because there's some people that do, some people that don't. She loves playing Neverwinter Nights.
Right.
I was like, that would be cool to stream.
The original one or the second one?
Yeah, the original. She likes playing Night. I was like, that would be cool to stream. Is you playing Neverwinter.
Yeah.
I said, and Skyrim or then she goes back to like the old Civ stuff or Pharaoh, which is a building game or whatever.
Yeah.
I was like, that would be cool. You streaming that stuff. I think people would get a kick out of it. So she got fired up and got all these things to do, and now I have to upgrade her computer because she can't run the streaming software at the same time.
Yeah, it's the way it goes.
It's an older computer because she loves playing the older games, so she has to have the older computer to play it.
Yep. So
we play that fine line of.
Yeah.
There's a way to do it, but we're working on it. She's like, that would be really cool. So she was really hip up on doing it. You're on there.
Yep.
Irate Knight.
Yep.
79.
Irate Knight 79.
I'm Topher Play Stuff. Heather Play Stuff.
Originality.
Yes. Mainly because I had to choose her name, and
she wouldn't commit.
Well, she was busy. She works during the week, so
right.
I mean, she's like, yeah, make me one. She just get everything straight up and then show me how to do it because I want to stream. Okay. Like, well, sorry, honey, I'm going to have to take apart your computer now.
She knows that, right?
Yeah.
Knows. Okay. So that's not a bomb you just drop on her when you got the job halfway done. Oh, I had to take your computer apart.
Like, but no, it's faster. You can't play half your games, but it's faster now. But she's talking about, like, she likes to play the games that she needs, I can't remember, the DOS box.
Oh, yes. Yes.
So she loads it up in there and, like, I'll play World of Warcraft 2.
Yeah.
Or Warcraft 2.
Yeah.
And 2 and 3. Frozen Throne and all that other stuff. I love those games. Those are fun.
I got so many of that.
But I play them on DOSBox and
right.
whatnot. That gives us a chance to break out those old games like Phantasmagoria. Yeah, buddy. Seventh Guest.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Some of the kids these days, you're like, what the heck are you playing? Riven, Myst, those type of, like, you puzzle games where you have to solve the puzzles to move on to the next sections.
Yep.
I think those would be interesting to stream. I think those are on the list of things that we wanted to do.
Yeah, I think the majority of my computer games are all around the turn of the millennia. So
what you're saying is,
old.
If I'm going to get you a computer set up for you to play stuff.
Well, I don't know. Honestly, I'd have to go look. I mean, the last time I bought a computer, I ordered the top of the line that I could get,
From Dell.
From Dell back in like 2003. And as of 2013, it was still running on life support because I'd upgraded parts, but it was still running. I mean, I don't even have. I think I've only got 160 meg or 160 gig hard drive.
Oh, really?
It's that old. Yeah, I've never upgraded the hard drives. I mean,
I've upgraded the hard drives in that computer. It's now a 500 gig hard drive. I have 3 different terabyte drives for my computer upstairs.
Yeah.
And then all the externals and all the other stuff that I run.
I'd upgraded graphics cards, and it's got the max RAM you can have in it.
At that time, your max RAM was like 3 meg.
Right, but no, since then I kept it updated. I'd kept it as close to.
Well, I'm saying like
up until about 2010.
You have to get a new motherboard and run 64-bit
right.
in order to get anything more than 3 gig.
Right. See the most.
Because I think right now I'm running like 32 gig.
The most I could get out of it was last thing.
Still lag on the video screen. Like it was weird. It was. I don't know what's wrong.
The last thing I was able to play and run efficiently was Cataclysm. World of Warcraft Cataclysm. That's the most advanced thing that it was able to run, and then I had to dial settings down, and it was pretty bad. But
well, there is that.
Yeah.
The streaming actually toasted one whole video card for me. I had a 2 gig video card, just a small 2 gig. You know, I was like, I don't need anything tremendous. I only got like 5 and more out. You know, and my 3 monitors were cooking. You know, like do. I was streaming, playing Diablo 3,
Right.
and all of a sudden, video goes out.
Yeah.
Like checked out. Like I can hear the game still going. The computer's still running. I think I'm still streaming, but no video whatsoever.
Yeah.
I was like, oh no. So I just shut everything off.
Last time I had to replace some parts in the Dell, I'd had somewhere close to the house, a pole was hit by lightning, and it followed it on into the house, and it fried my router and my modem, and it fried the Ethernet port in the computer. But everything else was okay. So it stopped. It made it all the way to the Ethernet port, and that's where it stopped. Luckily, so I had to replace some stuff to.
Oh well, nowadays that's like a $15 part, and you're on for your 10100. Now they have 101,000.
Yeah.
Your gig your gig ports and whatnot.
Yeah.
Which I wish they would hurry up and get here.
Yeah.
Keep advertising that Comcast has gig internet now.
Yeah.
I'm running 300 meg. So.
Oh, the thing that I meant to tell you, I was trying
But
to
I
think.
need it for all of the stuff that I'm uploading and downloading. And
Right. I was trying to think earlier what it was that last time we were on. We were talking about some movies, and there was some movies that I hadn't seen, and I can remember finally the movie that I'd seen that I hadn't before. I finally got a chance to watch Suicide Squad.
Mm-hmm.
You know, with the Jared Leto epic.
Mm-hmm.
I stand by every statement I made last.
Like I said, as somebody who read the comics that he's based off of, it's okay. But I read the comics that he's what the character is based off of.
Right.
And each movie incarnation of the Joker or the film incarnation of the Joker is based off a different Joker.
Right.
That's in print.
No, I don't see how he was any better than, what was the guy's name that played him back in the 60s? Yeah. And I don't
Romero? No.
I don't see how he was any better than him.
I can't remember.
Google.
Yeah.
Adam West's arch enemy. I don't remember what his name was, but we've gone to the Google.
Cesar Romero. Like I said,
Oh,
Romero.
Okay, yeah.
Cesar Romero.
It sounded right, but,
I was like, it was Romero. I can't remember his first name. He died in 94.
Yeah.
Like I said, in New 52, before the whole face rip-off, staple everything back on.
Right.
That's him, like with the tattoos and the whatever, and dealing with that's that Joker.
Yeah.
So, I mean, dealing with whatever comic book.
Well, my issue was more that Jared Leto thought his performance was better than anybody else's, or at least that's the way it appeared to me, that he, his level of thinking, and that's just not the case.
Well, any actor is going to say that they nailed it.
Well, to an extent, though, but I mean, how much hubris do you have? I mean, I'm better than anybody that's ever played this character before, I mean, I didn't hear anybody, saying that their Ben-Hur was better than Charlton Heston's. I think they just, went on like, well, I played Ben-Hur too. You judge whether you think it was better or not. Just the same way with these new Planet of the Apes movies. Nobody said they were better than Charlton Heston. Just like, it is what it is. You'd make your own decision. I think there's something to be said for a little bit of freaking humility, or you know what I mean.
You know what? I didn't watch Suicide Squad for Joker, so.
Well, I didn't watch it just for him. I I hadn't seen it, and I was passing judgment. I thought, well, maybe I better just go ahead and watch this thing. And it wasn't too bad. I mean, my biggest problem with that movie was, where in the hell's Batman the whole time this is going on?
He's checked out. They were already captured.
Well, they were at.
They were already captured.
Right, but no, when this is going on, you got this.
They're in another city.
Yeah, that's what I was getting ready to say. I said that, but then he's in Gotham, and I just realized that it said that it was like Midway City or something.
So, but, the world doesn't have Superman. And that was the whole purpose of the movie, is like, now that Superman's quote-unquote dead, anybody who's read the comics knows what's going to happen.
Right.
But, quote-unquote Superman's dead. How are they going to, you got the Dark Knight in Gotham, but he doesn't venture out too far.
No, he does for Justice League.
Well, yeah, because, he has to, because he's part of a bigger thing.
Yeah.
But, it's like, who's going to, if an alien wants to crash down and do what, who are we going to send in?
When Darkseid shows up, who fights him?
Him and the boom tubes.
Mm-hmm.
Boom tube. And Granny Goodness and her looking like Gary Busey ass.
Yeah.
Everything I've ever looked at, she looks like a very manly woman.
Yeah.
In every instance of the comic books, the cartoons, every time I see Granny Goodness, I'm like, who's the dude? And that will get me in trouble in this day and age. They're like, the pronoun is Z, Zer or Z.
What?
Never mind. That's a whole other conversation of people writing us letters and angry letters.
Oh, okay. You're talking about the mentally ill.
But
oh God, did he just say that? Yes, I did. He didn't get his card up in time to tell me not to. It's up now. I'm going to shut up.
all hate mail needs to go to Jeremy Stafford. That. No, but like I said, Granny Goodness, I don't know if she's going to make an appearance in this, but if in the in the Justice League, but you're looking at Darkseid,
right? I
mean, everything that I've seen in that preview screams that that's the direction they're going.
Oh, that's who it is. I 99.9% sure that's who it is.
Because I do believe you see a boom tube open.
Yep.
So, and you have, my brain shut off again. This is what's sad is, you have, what's his name who killed Superman?
Doomsday.
Yeah, you had the Doomsday thing, which now, if you read the thing, or if you listen to the thing, there is no lantern.
Yeah, I heard that, but then did you notice at the end of the thing, it looks like a lantern showed up?
No, if you want to know, if you read the comics, Superman makes his return at the end.
Okay.
And Batman knew
that he was coming back.
Because the stuff registered that he had a heartbeat once every hour or once every 6 hours or whatever. Yeah. And he was regenerating and basically shut down until he could regenerate.
He was in hibernation.
Until he could come back.
Yeah.
And then he comes back. Spoilers, I guess, if you didn't read the comics.
Read a book.
I haven't even, it's like the movie's not even out yet, so I don't know how I can be spoiling anything.
All we can do is speculate.
Yes, it's my speculation. It just happened to coincide with scenes from the panels of the comic book where you've seen the water glass.
Yeah.
I
thought it was Jurassic Park. I thought I was watching Jurassic Park again. Or Jurassic World 2 or whatever they're calling the next one.
Well, also, the whole thing that they leaked that here recently that the guy who plays Superman was also working. They had to go back and do reshoots.
Yeah.
And it interfered with his movie that he's shooting now, so he can't shave.
Right.
So he's shooting stuff with a full mustache,
Right.
and that they'll digitally edit out and post.
Yeah.
So like they have pictures of like memes up now of Superman with like the different mustaches and whatnot.
Yeah.
And it was like, that would be awesome. Just let him have a mustache. It's like, do you not remember the Doomsday, the Superman the Doomsday cartoon?
Right.
Where Superman had the mullet.
Yeah.
Like he had like everything grown out and all the other stuff, and like he decides to, like after he came back, he like decides to cut his hair and whatnot, and then he came back as like the shaggy-haired Superman for a minute.
Hippie man.
Hippie man. No, it was just a bunch of silly stuff like that. It's like, there's so many things that I see. Like there is no lantern. The Kryptonian is gone. Da, 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 da. It's like, okay, so he's going to open up boom tubes and Darkseid's going to. They have to do it better than Smallville did.
I've never watched any of the Smallville though. Maybe I ought to take a look at that sometime.
Well, they had the whole Granny Goodness section in Smallville. They had their own I can't even remember. I don't know if they're Valkyries or Furies or whatever they were.
Yeah.
That Granny Goodness trained, and you had the dark side and all the other stuff, and yeah, it was
a whole nother conversation.
Yeah, I have a lot of friends. Who loved Smallville because they're big Superman.
Right.
Yeah, the whole no tights, no flight thing, and at the very end he pulls out the tight and actually takes off flying.
Yeah.
It's like, where was he? Like he just figured that out. We didn't even actually see him take off the ground.
Yeah. It was just a big jump.
It was a big jump. That's how we got here anyway.
Yeah.
Everything's a big jump. This whole episode is a big jump.
One to another, to another, to another.
This episode brought to you by ADD.
Ooh, shiny.
All right, this is Geek Public Radio on geekpublicradio.com. This is the GPR podcast, and as you heard, we like to digress, and we move from topic to topic, and we just generally have a great conversation and invite you along with us.
We promise next time we'll have our shit together.
No promises. We don't want to make anybody say, hey, you said it would be better.
I've already got hate mail coming. Let me add to it.
Anywho, we're getting ready to wrap this up. Like I said before, check us out, Geek Public Radio, at geekpublicradio.com, facebook.com/geekpublicradio. Check out the page. Check out the group. Just click down, go to the group, click on the group, and join a discussion. We are talking about bringing the radio station back. It will be on the pet webpage. And if we can get the TV show or the TV network live streaming just like a regular television channel with commercials and the whole 9 yards, if we can get that launched here soon, within the next 6 months, you'll see it on there as well. If you know anybody who would like to get on and actually broadcast and be a radio DJ and give that a shot, let us know. Tell them to go into the group and say, hey, I want to run a show. I think I could do good. And we'll try to get them on the air. We are rebuilding the whole thing from scratch. In fact, brand new mixer. We're using it tonight. Hopefully it sounds great to you guys. We're new software, new music, new rotations.
Almost built from the ground up.
Pretty much it is.
You finally drug me in.
Yeah. We're looking at the whole 5 minutes of hate. That's something totally separate. We're not going to bring that into this because we have a rule here: no politics, no religion, no treating anybody any different than they want to be treated,
or they're asking for.
But this is Topher.
I'm Batman.
Batman well.
Batman well.
Batman well.
Bat metal.
Bat metal.
I'm Batman.
And this is Geek Public Radio. We will see you next show.
Later.